everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to talk about the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, whether you should get it or not, is it worth the price, how is it to hold, how is it to play games with, and how is it compared to the Joy-Con grip. I will show everything in this video, so here we go. First off, I want to say that the Pro controller is really nice looking. There are currently 3 versions of the Pro controller that I know of, and that is the original black one, it's really basic, and then there is the Splatoon 2 one, which is pink and green, and then we have this one, it's the Xenoblade Chronicles edition of the Pro controller. From what I have seen online, the only difference between these versions is that the D-pad is kind of better in the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 version. I personally don't know, because I think it's good, and I remember I tried the original and that had a really good D-pad too, I think. So for me, I don't think it's any difference, but this one is prettier, that I can say. Now, for the longest time, since I bought the Switch on release, I actually played with the Joy-Con grip. I took every day, because I play games in bed and I play games on my TV, so I actually switched a lot, you know. So I took off these Joy-Cons and I put them into the Joy-Con grip. And everything is good, and so far everything is great. With the Joy-Con grip, I feel like the thumbs kind of have to go up and down instead of a more ergonomically better way that the Pro controller provides. I didn't mind playing with the Joy-Con grip, I really didn't mind. I played actually my entire Zelda Breath of the Wild career with this one. I didn't find any problems with it. I found it comfortable enough to play with for a really longer periods of time. And it actually has a little hook on the back side where you can attach your little wrist strap if you should so like. The most negative thing with doing this every day of your life, switching the Joy-Cons in and out like that, like I did, is that actually the Joy-Cons got damaged from all the use, like wear and tear kinda. So what happened is that a piece of plastic in one of my Joy-Cons, they broke off, chipped off and chopped off. I made a video about that and I got massive response on that video that it has happened to a lot of people. And the reason for this is because with the design, it's kind of like plastic meets metal. Inside of here and inside of the Switch where you actually slide it in, and that's what he said, it's metal, and if you can see on this side of the Joy-Con it is plastic. So if you do this for a long time and many times, your Joy-Cons will most likely break at some point. That little plastic thing that I was talking about. And then I remember I made a video called Switch 2 Concept Idea. Now, looking back at that video, I was kind of onto something, but we kind of have what I have already described in that video, and all of that happened when I actually got the Pro controller. Because once I got the Pro controller, I never had to do the sliding motion and kind of wear down that little plastic thing anymore. I from now on can always have the Joy-Cons stuck on my machine forever, because when I play games out of the dock, I take this entire thing out of the dock, and when I get home I put it into the dock, and then I pick up my Pro controller and I hit sync, you know. So the end story with that is that after I got the Pro controller, I no longer have to switch in and out the Joy-Cons, making maybe the plastic thing be broken again. It could break again, you know. It's kind of bad design for Nintendo that plastic meets metal. It should have been metal meets metal, or at least something like that. The same thing should meet the same thing. Wow. Now there is one more way to play your Switch games, and it's actually quite comfortable. I recommend to everyone to actually try this once, or at least try it once. And that is just playing it without the Joy-Con grip. You can kind of like lean your hands down on wherever you're sitting, just like the Wii. I enjoyed playing the Wii because I could like relax with my arms out like this. It didn't matter, I wasn't stuck with my arms in like this, like I was holding a controller. I could like lie around in any position, you know, I like that. It is surprisingly comfortable. So if you like this way to play, or like in the Joy-Con grip, if you're happy with it, you don't really need a Pro controller. But now I'm gonna tell you why you may want a Pro controller. in the end. So here is a really nice close-up of the Pro Controller. I could compare it to Xbox 360 kind of, I don't know. If you see, the analog stick is up here on this side, usually where you steer your character, let's say. You have your buttons up here and the other analog stick is down here instead of up here. On the PlayStation, on the other hand, the analog sticks are down here, both of them, like moving the characters and moving the camera. PlayStation's D-pad is up here and 4 buttons are over here. Well, same thing here, except an actual Nintendo D-pad down here this time. And the Joy-Con doesn't have a D-pad, so people may be like buying this only for the D-pad. Now the buttons themselves, I feel like they are really big. That can be good, but also very unusual, and I wasn't kind of used to it once I got it. It's really buttony, if you know what I mean. They're big and they make noise, and they're the plus and the minus button, they are very nice. I really enjoy how they are pressed in and how that feels. The analog sticks themselves, they go way further around than the analog sticks on the Joy-Cons, if that makes sense. You have a wider range of motion with this one. Now, of course, you have the home button and you have the screenshot button. And of course, you can press in the analog sticks. Let's compare it to the PlayStation Click. It's kind of the same. Now I want to take a minute to talk about the trigger buttons, because we're so triggered today. They are really good. I am loving the trigger buttons. Actually, I like them more than the PlayStation ones, but they are not gradually pressed in, just like, let's say, the Gamecube trigger buttons. They are, you click it or you don't, you know. But they are very comfortable. It feels like it's high quality. Like the entire controller, let me just say, the entire controller feels high quality. It is heavy, and you know, if things are heavy, they are high quality. Well, it has motion things, just like the Joy-Cons has, but I personally don't have games that utilize that feature, you know. It is a matte finish to this one, so it means it's fingerprint proof, and I enjoy that a lot. I hate when things are like really fingerprinty, just like my phone, and yeah, freaking every phone in the world is kind of made of glass, so it gets a lot of fingerprints on it, like. Personally, I prefer the size of the buttons on the Joy-Con. They are smaller, but of course I use the Joy-Con on the Switch when I play handheld. To be honest, I play handheld most of the time. I do that way more than like on the television. The price for this one was 899 Norwegian krones at official price GameStop Xenoblade Chronicles Edition. If I wanted like the original, like the black one in Norway, they go for like 700. I think, or 800 Norwegian krones. So here's everything you need to know. If you are happy with the Joy-Cons in the Joy-Con grip, or / you're happy playing with each Joy-Con in each hand and find that comfortable, which is probably the most comfortable way to do things if you don't have this. If you're happy with that, you probably do not need this one. But my biggest recommendation is going inside a store that sells this. Ask if you can take it out of the box and hold it and feel it, and then you get your own first impression of this. My first impression when I hold this for the first time was that this is the best controller I have ever held in my life, and playing with it for longer periods of time like I have now, it is my favorite controller. Yeah, it is. It is actually above the PlayStation 4 controller, which has been a really solid controller for me, you know. I also really loved Gamecube controller. Oh my god, they did everything right with that one. Another controller that I loved everything with was actually the Xbox 360 controller. It was also freaking amazing. Now this one outruns all of them. Battery life is also really good, I've heard. So everyone, that was my little Pro Controller review. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know when my next video will be up, because I'm currently trying to play through like a lot of games that I'm going to review and put out on this channel. I want all of you to subscribe and hit the bell. The bell makes you get notifications for when I'm uploading something. I'm going to continue working hard on these videos, and So, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again here soon. I will see you later. Bye!